Communication skills. The topic for the day is principles of communication. Now, friends, as in the last series, we saw what is actually communication, that is interaction of thoughts, emotions, and information that is there. But how do we communicate now? Today, we are going to learn something that is very important, and that is principles of communication. What are the basic principles? Do we have some basic things, or are there some guidelines to communicate properly? Let's see one by one. So let's go back to the slide now. Yeah. So here it is, my friend. So once we talk about the communication part, as I told you, so there are certain principles for communication. Now, what are these principles for communication? So when I want to pass on my message, I need to understand one basic thing, and that basic thing is be direct and concise. Now, what do I mean by being direct and concise? My dear friends, whatever I'm talking, I should be to the point. Definitely, if I'm using too many words, if I'm using too many situations, or I'm not coming direct, what's going to happen? There may be a miscommunication. The person in front may not exactly understand what are you trying to say, and the basic purpose of communication is gone. And that is why the first principle that states is be direct and concise. Now, when I'm talking to you, if I'm using too many words and I'm taking away a lot of footage, definitely what's going to happen is the thing is the lecture may go boring, and you might need not be getting connected. So what I need to do is I have to stick to some small points. I have to use some good words. I have to frame my sentences in a manner that you understand the things properly, right? So this is what I need to be there with. The second point is be honest and genuine. Now, what do you exactly mean by be honest and being genuine? My dear friends, whenever I speak something, it should be with facts. I shouldn't speak anything which is vague enough, which doesn't have any footing, or it doesn't hold some substance, right? So when I'm talking to you, I need to know and I need to come up with the facts. I have to go for research work before speaking for something. I cannot just come and speak out something blah blah blah, and it doesn't have a meaning. It doesn't hold somewhere, and definitely with this, I may lose my respect in the society. Who is talking, that is very important. And that is why if I do a lot of research, I find out the details and then I speak, then it's important. It's always said who speaks out, that is important. If someone is coming and just speaking out something or shouting on the road who doesn't have any value, definitely no one is going to pay attention to that person. But if some person who holds a lot of respect, he comes on the road and he speaks something, definitely people are going to listen to him, right? That's the difference. So communication in a better way gives you respect, gives you some hold, and it gives you some a power above others. So definitely it will give you place in the society. That's what is important we need to understand. Then whatever I'm talking to you is genuine enough. I don't have to play games, my dear friends. When talking, I don't have to hide. I don't have to have hidden agendas and something behind the mind. I don't have to be a culprit of something. So some ill beliefs or some ill feelings in mind, and I'm talking to you. So definitely something is going to go wrong. So whatever I'm speaking should be genuine enough. I don't have to play games while talking or conversing with others. So we have to take care for what the conversation is going on. Next is be present and open. Definitely don't hide things, don't hide facts. The thing is, whenever I'm open in conversation and communication, the thing is, I develop a respect. People do appreciate me. People look at me with hope, right? So while communicating the things, if I'm just open enough, I go with the facts, I go with the rest, uh, I may say, in this regards, if I'm there with correct information, I'm well informed, definitely. And when I'm telling the truth, definitely, my dear friends, I hold a bigger position. People trust me, people follow me, right? So that is what I get, being present and being open. The next is be confident and measured. So whenever we are speaking something, if I'm there with the facts, definitely I'll be confident. But if I don't have the facts, I'm half informed what is going to happen. Definitely I'm going to murmur. Definitely I'm going to have some hurdles while talking, right? So the thing gets very clear over here. When I'm talking to you, if I don't have any facts with me, I'll just be murmuring with things. I'll be falling short of words. I'll be falling short of phrases. But if I'm very crystal clear with what I need to converse with you, I'm having the facts right, I'm not bluffing you, definitely my confidence is at some other level. Don't you think so? So these are the four principles which take us to the next level of communication. And my dear friends, with communication only we'll get the respect, we'll get our positions, we'll get our work done. And this is what is very important about this process that is called as communication. And that is why I told you communication is a skill. We need to understand, we need to learn things one by one. Now, what are the reasons to master and what are the rules and expectations for a good communicator? We need to understand all the rules now. So let us go one by one through the rules in this particular chapter today. It makes a good impression. People will respect you. This is what I was telling you. So people are always going to respect you for one thing, that you are genuine enough, you give the right information, you're well studied, you have the facts, you have the depth, and then only you communicate. You don't come up and speak out with half the information. You don't say something false. You don't create rumors. If you're not doing all these things, definitely people are going to trust you. That's the first principle, and people are going to respect you. They're going to mark your words, right? Now, if people can understand you easily, now what do I mean by that is when I'm talking to you, now I'm trying to pick up some simple words, right? Because I know with whom I'm interacting. I'm interacting with some people who are very new to the system. If I just go with some like mirror type words, or I may say some glorified words and all those things using difficult phrases, you may not understand. Or I'm taking references and giving you references and stories which are not connected to you. Definitely the message won't be passed, right? So I need to understand one fact, that was uh, when I'm going for interacting with you, I should know the masses. I should know the people to whom I'm speaking, who are the people whom I'm interacting with, and then select my examples, select my phrases, and then speak so that I better connect. And the message is passed. As I told you in the previous lecture, the basic purpose of communication is passing the information correctly. It may be with simpler words. I don't have to be complicated enough. I don't have to use sophisticated terminologies. I can just convey a message in a very simple way. That's what it is important. And the purpose of communication is passing the information in the correct way. Now, the next thing is, if suppose I'm clear, crystal clear, using simpler language, people are there to easily understand me, people are there to follow me, then what are they going to do? Now, then they are going to pay more attention to me, and they are going to rely on me for the facts, right? So, what you develop a trust, you develop a fan following with a better communication. You forget a lot of respect also by all these things, right? Now, it can help you to avoid conflict. Yeah, my dear friends. So, if I'm using a very good language, what's going to happen? I'm going to avoid conflict. See, the tones, the pitches will play a crucial role. If I say, for example, sit down, please sit down, hey, sit down. So, what is happening? These three situations, same words, but it will create different impacts in your mind, right? So, this is where we need to understand the pitches, tones, the way we are speaking, the expressions, what we have on our face while we are speaking, the gestures and the body language that follows my speech, right? So, this is where we need to understand all these facts and brackets. So after that, the thing is, keep, as I told you, if my body language is supporting me for what I'm saying, people are going to follow me. They're going to listen to me, right? So that is what is very, very important and very, very crucial over here. We need to understand this. After that, it conflicts, I told you. Now, what are conflicts created about? Conflicts are only created when there's a misunderstanding that gets created with your tones and pitches. So we have to keep our tones and pitches to certain level so that the thing what I want to say, the purpose for which I'm trying to speak to someone else, I'm trying to converse to someone else, is satisfied. So satisfaction of the message and the passing of message is the basic motive of a good communication. After that, you will have strategies to deal with problems more effectively. My dear friends, if you have the art of questioning, if you have the art of talking, definitely people are going to listen to you. They're going to give a thought process to you. They're going to give you a ear. So definitely when you are being heard, you are the problem resolver then. You cannot create the problems, you can resolve the problems because there is no conflict. Everyone is listening to you, everyone is following to you. Things become much more easier over here. So that is what we need to understand with these facts. After that, if you can take charge of the way you communicate with others, you will be more confident. Now, one by one, as people are listening to me, I'm there trying to convince people. People are getting convinced with my words, and they are very well following me. Definitely, then I can become a leader. I can take a lead in all those situations, and people are going to push me ahead. So, a good communicator will always have a good place, right? So, that is what it is. People do come and thousands to listen to a good communicator. Why this communicator is good? Because he's trying to put the things and the feelings and words in a much proper way, maybe in the form of poem, maybe in the form of good story, in the form of speech. Anything can come up, right? So if these people are there, people will come to listen to them in large numbers because these people do a lot of good research and come up and speak. So that is what is important when we are talking about communications and the principles of communication. Now the next point that is there, it also makes it easier to get the job done and to get along with the family, friends, and co-workers. My dear friends, a person who speaks pleasantly, a person who speaks with a smile, is soft spoken. Definitely, people like to be with them. You see all the gurus and the preachers who are there. Why they are liked so much? Because they talk very swiftly, softly, and the thing is, their communication skills are at the best. Their speeches are at the best. The tone quality, what they're using, the selection of words, what they are doing, situation analysis, what they are looking into, the examples they put into, that directly get connected. They get connected to your heart, they get connected to your brain, right? And you start taking actions. So that is very important, my dear friends. We need to understand the entire facts and fictions that people do follow you. The people follow you with words. The people follow you in action. We saw our Prime Minister a few days back when he gave a call for lockdown, it was lockdown. It was clapping, it was clapping. It was Dia, everyone went into that. So it was a mode of communication in which the things were happening. You have seen what Mr. Vivekanand did, and he was there in US. He started his speech with my dear brothers and sisters, right? So that made a lot of impact. So only a statement can create an impact. You saw some words coming up during the freedom fight. Angrezo Bharat Chodo, it became a moment, right? So a few words can bring the best out of this thing. So words have power, communication has power. Who is communicating? What values we create with communication? So if we follow these principles, my dear friends, definitely people are going to listen to us, and this will only come with practice, right? So you have to just go into all the series of practicing things properly. So let us revise what we have done in today's session. So we saw the four principles of communication: be direct and concise, be honest and genuine, be present and open, be confident but matured, right? These are the four principles to become the best communicator, my dear friends. Next is reasons to master the rules and the expectations from a good communicator, right? So it makes good impression. People will respect you. If people can understand you easily, they will be more pay more attention to what you're saying. If you can help, you avoid conflicts. You will have straight strategies to deal with the problems more effectively. If you take charge of the way you communicate with others, you will be more confident, And it also makes it easier to get a job, to get along with family, friends, and co-workers. So this is what is about everything today, my dear friends. In the next chapters, we'll see the other modes of communication one by one. So it's goodbye for now. Happy learning. Thank you. So bye for now, friends. See you.